Hey everyone, I got a short and quick episode for you this week. I tried to get something out earlier while I was on vacation and then when I got back from vacation, but each time I tried recording it, I screwed something up. Basically, what I wanted to try and do was do a video episode. So, when I was on vacation, I tried recording something with my iPhone and then I finished recording the episode. I had actually a decent amount of content for that one. It was probably like at least 20 minutes. And I finish recording, I go to look at my iPhone and the screen's off, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. So I turn it back on, and it's not even in the app that I was recording the video in. So I was like, oh my God, did I forget to hit record? So I do the episode again, and then I was planning on editing it down, which I usually do a little bit of editing, even on like the audio stuff, because I'm not the best speaker. So I went to go record it again, and then about halfway through the second recording, I was like, let me go like just double check that it's still running, because I could have sworn that I hit record the first time. So I went around to check out the phone, and the second time I recorded it, when I checked the phone, it had this like temperature icon. So basically my phone overheated because there are kind of two reasons. So it was in maybe direct sunlight. There was some sunlight coming on it. And also I forgot to charge my phone overnight. So in order to do the video, I had like barely any battery left. So in order to do the video, I ended up plugging my phone into, I've got this like charger thing, like a lithium ion battery. And so I think that combination just kind of doomed me. So I did take a picture of this alligator sign though, and that's the title of this episode. And then the second time I tried recording, I did it at home, and I was like, well, I want to try the video format again, because there's something about the video format where it got me more like conversational and less, I don't know, like scripted sounding. And I do like, I'll talk a little bit more about this later, but anyway, I wanted to do the video format again. And so I used I've got this Sony a7 II camera. I started using that, and then I did basically the entire episode. And then similar situation happened where when I was done recording, I went to go look at the camera and it wasn't recording anymore. And I figured out that there's a 30-minute limit on the amount of video you can record on that camera for some reason. And I think it's because of some like EU regulation where if they let you record more than 30 minutes of video, it's classified as a video camera and there's like some tax on it. I guess in the future when I do video, I'll be aware of those two things and hopefully not run into the same issues. But I didn't want to release an episode with like, I don't know, like 3/4 of it having video and then the rest of it just like having nothing. So I think I'll probably rehash some of that content. I still have some stuff written down from that episode. I'll probably rehash that later. And for now, I'm just going to go over sort of just like a few small things. I want to try and get episodes out really consistently though. That's sort of my main goal, even if the episodes aren't like the best quality. Sorry. I just want to get something out there probably every week and just hopefully just continuously get better. Because I've sort of accepted the fact that these episodes probably aren't going to be the best in the beginning while I'm figuring stuff out. And so along those lines, I've been playing around with some different ways of doing the episodes. So I think I started off, I would just open a giant text document and I would write a bunch of stuff down. And it got to the point where, I mean, it wasn't entirely scripted. Like in the first episode, I didn't just strictly read off of this document that I have, but it was somewhat close where I'd have like, they'd be bullet points, but each bullet point would be like a paragraph with probably like at least 2 or 3 sentences. And it wasn't the most fun to record because I'd like read the sentences, try and get them in my head, and then I would like when I'm saying stuff, I'm like, oh, I hope I don't miss anything. And like, is this sounding too scripted? And I just wasn't a huge fan of that. I'll probably do more scripted type episodes at some point in the future, but they'll be, I think, more like fully scripted. And what I have in mind for those type of things are like something similar to a blog post, but in audio form. And so that's one of the things I've been playing around with. Obviously, the video. I think what I want to do is do So instead of in my document having like bullet points of paragraphs, I'll have bullet points of probably just a few words, and I'll use those as just sort of a starting point because I really like. I think it turns out the best when I'm just talking sort of like naturally, and I don't think I'm the best at just doing that right now, but I think as time goes on, I'll get better at it. And so I want to do more like sort of bullet points with just a few like words that sort of detail a point that I want to get across. And then I think if I continue, well, I guess this episode isn't going to be video because I'm kind of running short on time. But if I do video, I think that'll sort of jive well with that format because I'll be able to do, like, I see a lot of stuff on YouTube where people do these videos and they edit them down, and each sort of clip in that edit is basically just getting across some sort of point. And yeah, what I'm thinking with that is I want to get the value per minute to be like really high. So number one, as far as like production, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time doing these videos or preparing for these videos really just because I don't really have that much time. That's one sort of aspect of the value per minute. I don't want to put a whole lot of time into this, but then I also want to make it valuable for people who are like watching or listening. So I think by editing stuff down, it sort of removes a lot of that fluff and hopefully I can get some somewhat shorter videos and then just make them sort of jam-packed with content. The last thing I wanted to touch on, which is sort of similar to what I talked about in the last episode, is what I'm sort of planning on for my future content. So I had mentioned that I'm going to go behind the scenes when I build my website and sort of show how I do things. And I've been giving it a little bit of thought, and sort of along the last thing I talked about, I don't want to spend too much time doing these videos. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of build some stuff. And then when I get to a good point where I can like sort of show it and then also show behind the scenes how it works, I think I'll do that instead of showing like a screencast of me building it, because at least when I build things, I'm like, I don't know, like it's usually like trial, error, trial, error, trial, error. And I just don't think that's going to come out the best in a video format. I don't think that'd be very fun to watch. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'll have something to show every week just because I'm pretty short on time, but I think if I don't have anything to show, I'm just going to do an episode on like random stuff, sort of like this. And yeah, I guess that's all I really got this week. So I'll talk to you later.